Welcome folks, this is Wear and Tear, yet another YouTube outdoor and gear review channel. It's an exciting time here in the woods. Everything is getting greener, flowers are coming out, animals having a good time doing their play fights. So it's really a good time to be outdoors. Very exciting indeed to see the transformation. I was also very excited today in the supermarket, a supermarket called Norma, when I saw this outdoor knife, camping knife, for only €7. Question is it any good? Well, first of all, we look at the sheet. The sheet is already broken here, the clip. The sheet generally is very loose and it will not hold up to a lot of wear and tear. Now the knife itself, the blade itself, looks exciting and looks promising. Looks like a proper chopper, right? It also looks fairly dangerous, like an alligator or something of that sort. Now I don't know what the purpose of that is, but it certainly makes it look that much more dangerous. Now the overall blade length, I think the overall knife length is 29 centimeters. The blade length is about 16 centimeters. The spine is only 2.8 millimeters thick. So it's a very light knife, but it also does not promise to be very sturdy, in my opinion. It is not a full tang construction, as far as I could tell with a magnet, and as far as I could tell from bending it a little bit. The tang goes in like 3/4, perhaps still here, about this. Now the grip seems to be good. It's just a plastic handle. It's basically molded onto the tang, and depending on how well that is made, it should hold up pretty well. Now the ergonomics on these knives are not too bad. For it being a chopper, I would wish it would have something that protrudes here a little bit, and it gives me a better grip. But anyways, we'll see how it holds up and how it does. Well, $7, that's €7, that's pretty amazing. You have to consider, I mean, you have to get the ore, you have to smelt the iron, you have to use a lot of coal, you have to synthesize the plastic, you have to pack it up, you have to ship it, you have people who handle that, and then in the end it just costs you $7. Is it worth $7 or is it worth more? We'll see that. Nice. Let's see how this knife is standing up to a little bit of stress, because it certainly is not good at batoning considering this thin spine. And this is pretty hard wood. We'll see how it does. Safety first. Well, it seems to do reasonably well. The edge is still very sharp. The factory did a good job sharpening this knife. You have to consider this is some kind of Chinese mystery steel. It's some kind of, I don't know, low grade stainless steel. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's still better than a iron or bronze knife. Yeah, the coating is coming off a little bit, but that makes it look even better, I think. Well folks, as you can probably tell, I've started abusing this knife to test out its limitations. Because in a survival situation or emergency situation, you cannot always take proper care of your gear, and sometimes you might have to do ridiculous things, and then you want to be able to rely on your gear, that it won't break on you too fast. Now let's see how this knife does, standing a little bit of abuse. Let's just slam it in there. See if we get the handle to break or something like that. You see, it's a plastic rubber handle. It absorbs a lot of energy. Let's bend that thing a little bit. I feel like I could bend or break it. I also clearly feel the tang. It goes into exactly this area. It's very bendable here. It doesn't feel like it's coming off. So, let's see. The tip is still fine. The coating, of course, has a few scratches to it. Still absolutely sharp, no chips or anything. Now let's hit the stone with that knife, because one day you might just get caught in a cave and then you have to, well, hack your way out of the cave. Maybe there's just this block of solid rock in front of you, and in order to escape you need to break up the rock, and all you have is this little knife and probably no good flashlight. We'll see how it does. Let's see, maybe this alligator spine has some purpose. Oh yes. The handle is starting to wrap. It's coming off. Let's continue our abuse. You might ask, who on earth would do that to a knife, right? No wonder the handle is coming off. Well, I'm just simulating here maybe a few months or a year or two of normal wear and tear, just in a few minutes, by pushing this blade to the limits. Now, it does start to come loose. The blade itself is holding up nicely. Actually, I even like how it looks now. It looks even better with a little bit of wear and tear on it. Well, we start to see the limitations of this blade. Now, for €7, this is really not bad. It seems to be a decent tool, a decent piece of gear. I mean, makes you wonder how you can justify buying a knife for 60, 80, 90 euros. But of course you get a lot more for your money if you buy a high quality knife. The handle won't come loose with that little bit of abuse that I just inflicted on this blade. But still, if you are on a budget and if you want to go out camping, enjoy the outdoors, you don't want to spend a whole lot on gear, a $7 knife from the supermarket might just serve you well. Not a problem and nothing to be ashamed of, certainly. With a little bit more effort, I was able to get the handle off the blade. Now, you can see the tang now clearly. And you can see what's really missing is a couple of screws that actually connect the handle with the blade. Now, after all, I'm not disappointed by this knife at all. €7 at Norma, the local supermarket, the most manly local supermarket that we have. They have a lot of machetes and a lot of tools. I like that. Well, I'm not disappointed. I would buy it again, and I'll find a way to fix that. Maybe I have some screws or something at home to get this nice little knife whole again. Thank you for watching. This was Wear and Tear. Marcus, over and out.